It's a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left. I want to know how it's hanging, PBL fans. This is once again Coach Zache of the Pastoria City Porygon-Zeds, the voice of the Pokemon Battle League. Today we are filling in again for Milo, aka Raul, versus Ace, aka Casey, aka my second home team, the Slateport City Squirtle Squad, going ahead and hit and play on this battle. Just as I normally do with Raul's videos, I did not watch this at all because it's impossible to game plan for what he's going to do, because a lot of times it confuses me. So he goes ahead and leads with Nido King, and we get Reverse Phoenix, a pretty cool name for a pretty cool mod. Let's switch south. He knows he can't take a hit very well. We get Sorry Jake, Necrozma. Necrozma, if it's going to do anything, is just going to be able to take a hit fairly well. We see a pretty unorthodox strategy here from Casey, going with the Hail. Objectively the worst weather, coming from the man who decided to run an Ice Mono team in the offseason. So we get the Aurora Veil up from Articuno, and I like this strategy. It's very interesting. Once again, coming from the idiot who ran a Mono Ice team. So Reverse Phoenix goes in and is just putting in blizzards behind the screen at this point. Luckily for Raul, Sorry Jake and Necrozma put up a light screen, and the blizzards are not going to do as much as they could do, still doing a hefty chunk of damage to a bulky Pokemon such as Necrozma. So Reverse Phoenix comes out, obviously to use the strategy yet another time. We get Danger Zone to Magna Zone. Any Steel type aficionado like myself adores Magna Zone. He's cool. I like it. Although I do think, correct me if I'm wrong on this, I think Ian prefers Magneton to Magna Zone. It might just be in this format, but I think he likes Magneton better. I love Zone. I think he's great. So in the place of Sorry Jake, we get Oliver, the Decidueye. He goes for a Toxic from his Magna Zone, which is, again, unconventional, but effective strategy. Magna Zone being a fairly good defensive Pokemon, and ability to run a couple of utility moves. Baboom comes out, the leading 7th Pokemon of the year. Taking a Spirit Shackle, it's going to take that in stride. Can no longer escape, but against the Decidueye, it doesn't really want to escape. So Decidueye is either going to switch or stay in and not do much, which is going to allow Baboom to set up a Swords Dance, which he doesn't go for. That's something I would have done. Instead goes for the knockoff, probably anticipating catching someone on the switch in, or avoiding any kind of status that Decidueye could have hit with him. We get Grim, Scyther. I talked about Scyther last week. I read somewhere someone thinks they're better than Scizor. I read that that's the stupidest thing I've ever read in my life. And it goes ahead and does a ton of damage to Baboom. Reverse Phoenix comes back out. I'm shocked by that amount of damage that it was able to OHKO with, I guess, a Technician boosted Aerial Ace, but still, obviously stayed in to get the knockoff, to get the Eviolite off of the Scyther to make it considerably less bulky. Grim goes back. We get Sorry Jake back out again, going to reset its, what are they called? Screens. We get Freeze Dry off of the Articuno, which is a strategy I was tempted to play with when I played Alola Ninetales, to run Blizzard and Freeze Dry, to avoid being walled by water types, obviously, and opted just for the Blizzard, which hits, freezes, and does a ton of damage. So because of this freeze, Casey's going to have the opportunity to reset up Hail and hopefully reset up Aurora Veil. So Sorry Jake switches out, not wanting to sack, goes into Hallmark, the ever-coveted Alamamala, and Casey does in fact go for the strategy to reset Aurora Veil. I guess I'm thinking interesting enough the Aurora Veil strategy when you don't have a snow warning Pokemon. It takes the same amount of turns as setting up both screens, but I guess the advantage is it allows one of the two to last longer than it normally would. You either set, for example, Reflect and Light Screen at the same time, or one before the other. Reflect would run out first, but this gives you an equal amount on your screens. It's interesting. Alamamla switches into a Pokemon that has already revealed it knows Freeze Dry. So, bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. It's going to try to Wish Stall its way out of this one. The Reverse Phoenix puts up the Aurora Veil. Smart to hit beforehand so that it doesn't waste the turn on the Wish Protect. And it's going to go ahead and get its Wish HP back. I believe, again, I have not watched this battle, we're probably going to get some Wish Stalling for a while. Because Raul loves his I hate this thing. It's just stupid. Why didn't it evolve from Love Disc? Why can't we get Eviolite Love Disc? One time I was playing randoms, and every so often I do pretty well in randoms, and then again, it's hard to say whether you do well in randoms to get a good matchup. One time I was playing, my lead was Love Disc, and my opponent's lead was Primal Groudon. And that's the worst matchup I've ever played in my life. So Mr. T switches into what he knows is going to be a super effective ice move, and immediately gets frozen, which I would say is Raul's punch. He does have the Wish support to help him up, but he's still frozen. Not Moltres. Articuno is still behind the Aurora Veil and still packing a hefty amount of special defense. It's a very especially bulky Pokemon. And sorry, Jake is not looking like it's in good shape. So, we see the Blizzard come out. Why not? It hits with 100% accuracy with an insane amount of power. No reason not to do it. The Aurora Veil finally goes off. Hallmark comes out at a good amount of health to completely die to a Freeze Dry. In which case he does go for, he opts to get the KO rather than running Alamamla set up. And we have 2 KOs for Reverse Phoenix. I love to see this. I love Articuno. It was my favorite of the legendary birds. It eventually became Zapdos because it's so useful. But aesthetically, I just love Articuno. So Scyther goes ahead, gets that Sword Stance, and it's been putting in a decent amount of work, and it's got a good amount of bulk. So it does manage to survive the hail and the blizzard. So it's going to roost up. Get that HP back. Probably another blizzard coming out. Oh, Freeze Dry after this. I'm interested to know why. I don't know why. Is he maybe out of blizzards? So with the bulk, it's going to survive a critical Freeze Dry anyway. And Aurora Veil is down at this point, and it no longer has the Hail chip. So he sets Hail back up. It's pouring down, hitting him in the head. And he withdraws Reverse Phoenix, so he'll take it back. We get the Danger Zone out, who's going to be able to resist any move that's not Brick Break, and threaten with super effective, incredibly powerful electric moves of its own. Because it showed Toxic earlier, I believe we already know, confirmed this is not a Scarf or a Spec set. It's a leftover set. Okay, perfect, we know. Which negates the hail damage, and could lead me to believe that he's running a sturdy Magnezone, but I can't say with confidence, I don't know the sets. So likely Vlad switches in to absorb the super effective electric move, and it does. He's running Discharge for that. This is a support Magnezone all the way. Running Discharge over Thunderbolt for the 30% chance of paralysis. I don't need to tell you guys that. You know. Danger Zone switches out. Reverse Phoenix doesn't come back in. Oh, we get Blondie. Okay. If you ever feared, one way or another, she's gonna find ya. She's gonna get ya. Remember when that was in the Rugrats movie with Cynthia? When I was a kid, the children's section at my church had like 3 movies. There was a VeggieTales movie, I think Bible Man maybe, and then Rugrats in Paris. So I would skip church by going to the nursery, hang out. My mom was the nursery lady. Hang out with my mom, and I watched Rugrats in Paris all the time. Pretty cool. They had a robot battle at the end, and an adult lost to a bunch of babies. I like that. I think it's funny. So Blondie's doing some big damage here, and we get somehow the 3rd freeze of the game. Casey got lucky with these freezes. This is actually appropriate too. This is my revenge on Raul, because he is my rival, as we all know. And last time I played Casey, who is my secondary home team, I've done so many of his videos, I beat him because I froze a Pokemon of his. So that let me set up and end up winning. And now he has frozen Raul 3 times, so my revenge on my rival is complete. I will not let him live it down. And Raul loses because I gave him the freezes. So, you're welcome, Casey. And, I don't know, go chill out, Raul. Ice to beat you.